Well, everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review White Noise from Noah Baumbach, who wrote and directed this film based off of the book by Don DeLillo. And this story focuses on an academic, intellectually inclined family who, the father, Adam Driver, mother, Greta Gerwig, they have this mixed family with kids from their past 3 marriages apiece, all brought together. Adam Driver works at a college where he is the foremost Hitler studies person, and his colleague Don Cheadle, who teaches about car crashes and is trying to make himself the leading Elvis studies professor. And they get into this craziness when some kind of toxic event happens, and this movie is a horror movie at times, it is a noir at times, it is a thriller at times, it is an awkward, weird, and quirky, and hipstery comedy, all rolled into one, and I don't know what the hell to think about this. Supposedly, DeLillo's novel has been described as, quote-unquote, unfilmable. This film feels like it's struggling to translate what was on page into a film because nobody talks like a regular human being in this film. The dialogue is a very specific wavelength, and I feel like only certain characters and actors can really play this off. Adam Driver, I think, is doing an amazing job. I think Don Cheadle and Greta Gerwig are holding their own as well. But I do think Adam Driver's the real shining light of this film, really digging into this and really giving it his all, despite the fact that I feel like thematically, narratively, and like with emotional connections, none of that really clicks here. There's just so many ideas, and as a overarching film, this film I don't feel like has much of an identity. It doesn't know what it's trying to be, and it all mashes together in a really awkward and messy way. But throughout the film, it's perfectly watchable, and there's strange things going on at all times, and scene to scene there's certainly sequences that are really engaging and interesting. There's this lecture off between Driver and Cheadle, talking over each other about Hitler and Elvis and how they're so similar. And it's just like, what is going on here? But I can't help but not look away. Every scene they go into a grocery store, and the film commentates on consumerism and looking at these like this retro store full of big colors and stuff, and you have Lowell Crawley, who's a cinematographer, along with Baumbach, make this film very vintage looking. It looks like an older film. The colors just bounce off of the screen, and composer Danny Elfman certainly lays down a very interesting and engaging score. Technically, this film just pulls you in and doesn't let you go. Scene to scene, there's different sequences, like the end credits scene, which is an absolutely amazing, wonderfully choreographed, incredibly well-directed musical sequence that's just like, what is this? Where was this? Where is this the rest of the movie? This film is 2 hours and 16 minutes of throwing you all through like 5 different genres, trying to balance big ideas on like 5 different overarching thematic foundations clashing together. And it's only the actors and the technical aspects that could even shine a little bit through all this messiness. But I have to say, I'd watch it again. It's one of those kinds of things where it's just like, well, this might be a crazy mess of a film, but I'm along for the ride. I wouldn't say that I like it so much, but I enjoy particular parts of it. I think there are certain scenes. I think when it's trying to be scary, it builds good tension. When it's trying to be funny, I think it's weird and awkward. When it's trying to be anything, it does it in a weird way, in a unique way. And when it all comes together, it doesn't. That's the thing. this film does not come together cohesively as a film, but from scene to scene, there's so much to sink your teeth into. And Baumbach at least delivers on that, just didn't deliver on a overall well-rounded and effective film. But those are my thoughts on White Noise. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.